Hello and welcome to another episode of The Irish Film Critic. And except this time, I'm not going to be reviewing a film from the past for you. No, this is a new part of the show, Irish Film Critic at the Movies. And what this is going to be doing is reviewing films that are pretty much out in the movies right now. So, first up is Michael Bay's Transformers Dark of the Moon. And, okay, right, so if you've seen my Transformers 2 review, you pretty much know what I think of the Transformers franchise already. I loved the Transformers whenever I was a kid. The animated series and the animated film, which is the best Transformers film. Not any of the live action ones. And so, after seeing Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, I didn't really have any expectations for the quality of Dark of the Moon. I pretty much expected it to be a bad film, and you know what? I was right. But is it a dreadful film? No, it's not. It's not a dreadful film. The problem I have with Transformers 3, right? I can pretty much tell you now, they get rid of everything that was wrong in the second film. The parents only have 2 scenes, the twins are gone, the cringe factor is pretty much non-existent, and Michael Bay actually tries to make this film dark in places. And that, is totally unexpected for him. He's usually one that wants to turn up the cheese factor all the time and just make us cringe. But the main problem I have with this film is that they get rid of all the old problems but yet replace it with new ones. And the biggest problem I have with this film is that, it's just boring. It literally nearly bored me to death. The first hour and 45 minutes is just boring. The premise of the film is Sam, he's now living with his new girlfriend, played by Rosa Huntington-Whiteley, who replaced Megan Fox after, what so many people say it was a spat with Michael Bay after she called him Adolf Hitler, pretty much it's like working with Adolf Hitler in an interview. She comes in and, her acting ability, there's a lot to be desired, but let's face it, I don't really think she should get much criticism because she's not an actress anyway. She was cast in the role because she worked with Michael Bay before on as a Victoria's Secret model, and that's all she is. She's just a model. But she was cast at the same time though. Michael Bay is the one at fault here for casting a model. He should have cast an actress. At least Megan Fox could, somewhat act. And pretty much the film is just about Sam at his new job and him dealing with everyday life and being jealous of his girlfriend's boss, who is somewhat hitting on her in some kind of way, or so you're led to believe. Meanwhile, the Transformers story, which seems to play second fiddle to Sam's story, as it always does. You're going to see a Transformers film, you want to see more of the Transformers, you don't want to see anything of Sam. I already gave you my dislike of Shia LaBeouf, which, look, may I just say, I don't hate Shia LaBeouf. I don't say that, but, I don't hate him. I hate when he's in a film. If people want to know why, just go watch Indiana Jones 4 and you will know what I'm talking about. And, pretty much the Transformers films are, the Transformers in this film, it's all about what really happened at the Apollo 11 landing and the discovery of an old ally called Sentinel Prime, who is voiced by Leonard Nimoy. And he is there to pretty much deliver a weapon that would end the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. Now, some things you just really can see coming. I don't know why, but to pretty much not spoil anything for anybody, you go see this film, you'll know what's going to happen. Somewhere it's just too obvious. It didn't really give room for surprise, And there's not really a lot of the Transformers in the first hour and 45 minutes. Not really to say there's not a lot of action. Whenever there is action, it's only there for about 2 or 3 minutes. It's not really Michael Bay's style to just do an action scene that long, but probably the reason why he left the best until the last hour. Pretty much in the last hour is just a big fight through Chicago And all I can say is that every action scene in the previous two Transformers put together, they wouldn't compare to this. The final scene in Chicago is spectacular. It really got the adrenaline pumping, especially whenever the it was called the Worm Transformer, but it's actually Shockwave, who is that Transformer, and it was always great seeing him on screen, especially when he came in and he tore up the building. It was just awesome, and kudos to Optimus Prime in this film. He kicks ass, and he pretty much goes in there. He's pretty much the one-man army, He goes in there and pretty much saves the day single-handedly. He is. Why wasn't he this cool in the other two Transformers films? So, all in all, I have to say, Transformers Dark of the Moon is a bad but not dreadful film. It certainly makes up for Revenge of the Fallen in a big way, and I think, in my own personal opinion, this is undoubtedly the best of the Transformers films, and that is saying something. The other two were horrible. This one here was just bad, but not dreadful. Would I see it again? If there was nothing else to do, nothing else to watch, then, well, yeah, I would. And I know it's strange coming from me saying it, especially from someone who detests Michael Bay films with a passion, but this has actually been his best film in a long time. Since Bad Boys 2, actually. And, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, my final rating I would give Transformers Dark of the Moon. Boring, but spectacular last hour. Some bad acting in places. I'd give this film 5 out of 10. Okay, so that's all for now for the first episode of Irish Film Critic at the Movies. Stay tuned to the next one. Ciao.